You wanna know how to get the best out of a dog? Bite his ass. You might finna get fucked up.
And you know it's real.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you subscribe, like the video as well. Now, I just want to talk about Cotto versus Kirkland. They did the press conference, the kickoff press conference. It's at the brand new training facility for the Dallas Cowboys, which is supposed to be state of the art, really nice. You know, everything's bigger in Texas. And you'll see pictures in this video of the fight. My thoughts on the fight, I think in terms of action, that this fight could deliver. You know what I mean? I've never really seen a boring fight with James Kirkland, the Mandingo Warrior, from Angulo to the Canelo fight to Glenn Tapia, Carlos Molina even. All those fights were entertaining. Miguel Cotto, he's definitely, I would say, especially with Freddie Roach, his offense is a major key, DJ Khaled voice, more so than his defense. You know what I'm saying? So he's always been the guy who will step on the gas and has a good offense and stuff like that. So the action, I think, will deliver. I think this will be an exciting fight as long as it lasts. Now, the flip side of that coin, is this fight meaningful? No, I don't think. I think for Cotto, if he's fighting at 154, which I think, actually this is taking place at a catch weight of 153, I think there's better options that are more meaningful. Him fighting even a Julian J. Rock Williams off a loss probably means more than beating Kirkland. However, on the flip side, I would say, I was thinking about this, and I think I was talking to Troy King about this. The craziest thing, if you read comments about James Kirkland and stuff, this dude only has 2 losses on his career. I don't know what it is, but it feels like he has a lot more because he's been in wars and he has some mileage on him. But I was really thinking, and I had to double check. I'm like, how many losses does Kirkland have? He really only has 2 losses, Ishida and then also Canelo. But he's been in tough fights like the Carlos Molina. I think a freak accident caused a DQ, but he was clearly losing that fight. And then also fights with Angulo, even though he won that fight, definitely a tough fight for him. So that's surprising, just to put it in perspective. Like Kirkland, how people consider him, you know what I mean? Like in like kind of the feedback when, oh, he's fighting against Cotto, people are like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? But the dude only has 2 losses. So I thought that was pretty surprising. Now, you guys seen the title of the video. Can and Wolfe be the difference maker? Now, in terms of technique, Cotto clearly is the better boxer, fundamentally sound. The thing that's intriguing to me, and the other thing before I get into it further, is I don't believe this should be pay-per-view. But based on how much money Rock Nation promised to Cotto, maybe logistically this is the only way to appease all parties. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think it's a pay-per-view fight. You know what I mean? Like, both guys in their last fight lost to Canelo. So fans are like, oh, Canelo leftovers. And then they're starring in their own pay-per-view. So hopefully Rock Nation, they do a good job in Cotto Promotions of jam-packing the undercard, make it worth, you know what I mean? Try to get somebody, a live body in there with Rigondeaux or something. Like somebody that we want to see him fight. Like, let's say Scott Quigg or something, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think it should be a pay-per-view. I think the entertainment factor can deliver. Now, back to the title of the video. Can and Wolfe be the difference maker? To me, Cotto is the better boxer, without a doubt. Technical ability, fundamentally sound, high guard, just what he does well. He boxes better. But Ann Wolfe has Kirkland doing some shit. She's like a drill sergeant. It's like a fat camp or something. Like, she's scared straight. That's what it reminds me of. Like, I was waiting for you at the door. You know what I mean? Like, she's a no nonsense. I love Ann Wolfe. She's real. I want to meet Ann Wolfe. She just keeps it real. I remember she was hurt that Kirkland didn't use her services as trainer in the Canelo fight, which I actually heard through a pretty good source. You guys know my sources be on point, but I heard from a source that Team Canelo, Golden Boy, they wrote that in the contract that Kirkland could not use Ann Wolfe. Because I remember he looked good versus Glenn Tapia with Ann Wolfe, and then had a year layoff. And then I'm like, why is he not using her again? And and she said, I never got a phone call. It was never explained to me why he was dropping me. And honestly, what I heard through, again, a good source was that Golden Boy, they probably knew Kirkland was more dangerous with Ann Wolfe, and that was part of the agreement. So he used a different trainer in that particular fight with Canelo, and I mean, he paid for it. Every fight that Kirkland doesn't have Ann Wolfe, he doesn't look the same. You know what I mean? Maybe he does good in spots, but he loses. He lost to Ishida without Ann Wolfe. For whatever reason, he got rid of her in that fight. And then the Canelo fight, I heard it was part of the terms was he couldn't use Ann Wolfe. You know what I mean? And I'm not making excuses. That's literally what I heard. You guys take it for what it's worth. It is what it is. Canelo still pieced him up, won the fight fair and square as is. It is what it is. I'm just telling you what I heard. But can Ann Wolfe be the difference maker? I mean, like I said, I love Ann Wolfe. She's an honest person. She has that street about her. Like, you could tell she, you know what I mean, maybe came up hard, and like she's street smart and she's honest, and I like that. I like how candid she is. I remember they interviewed her, even though she wasn't training James Kirkland for the Canelo fight, on the HBO 24/7, and she was like, Canelo's dangerous. That redhead motherfucker can fight. You know what I mean? I just love how candid she was about it. She's like, that redhead motherfucker can fight. And I mean, we've seen that, because Canelo was a brutal knockout for Kirkland. So my thing is this: Ann Wolfe, she's a hell of a trainer. If you have not seen it, I highly suggest it. Watch the fight with Vonda Ward. Stretched her. Vonda Ward is a former basketball player. She's like 6'6" as a woman. She was really extremely tall, 6'6" to 6'8". I don't remember the exact height. And she got laid out, sparked bad. It reminded me of when Donaire knocked out Fernando Montiel. She's like convulsing, and body is just out of body experience. But Ann Wolfe is no joke. I seen her on the HBO 24/7 for another Kirkland fight. She had made this like rig on her truck that it was like, it had like a crane arm or some shit with a heavy bag on it, and she's making James Kirkland run, do his miles, his road work, and then he has to like turn around and start hitting the bag as she's still moving the car, still driving forward. Just crazy shit. And she's tough. I know she'll get James Kirkland whipped into shape. Biggest question is, will that be enough? Kirkland, again, even though he has 2 losses, he's taking punishment, and he seems to be on long layoffs all the time. It's like we never see Kirkland fight frequently. Whether it was with 50 Cent or whoever, he never fights frequently. When's the last time you seen Kirkland? He fought 2 times a year. You know what I mean? It's always these 1-year stretches. So based on the mileage he has on him, coming off a brutal knockout, can Ann Wolfe make a difference to beat a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer like Miguel Cotto? Drop that in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. I think this might be more of a dog fight. Canelo's big too. You know what I mean? Cotto is small compared to Canelo. Like, you've seen that in their fight. Canelo looked way bigger than Cotto. Look at Canelo's back. He looked way bigger. So it might be a better fight. You can't just go off of Canelo's success with James Kirkland and him knocking him out, because it's a different fight. And the other thing is, this is my personal opinion. I love Cotto, follow his whole career. I don't know how much his heart is in after his pops passed away and stuff. He seems kind of like a family man. Like, he doesn't really, like, he's going through the motions with boxing. And this is not the sport. If you're not fully vested in it, and you know what I mean, you're just kind of, I'm not saying he's not trying or whatever, but he doesn't look like the Cotto of old, like the 140 Cotto or whatever, to me, like in terms of his heart. Like, his last performance where, I mean, you could say Sergio Martinez, but I also, me personally, I attribute some of that to Sergio's age and knee. I mean, he won fair and square, but clearly that wasn't the Sergio that fought Kelly Pavlik. I mean, or Paul Williams either time. So to me, it's like his last real impressive performance was a loss probably to Mayweather. I thought he looked pretty good in the Margarito fight, but it looked like it might be a repeat of the first fight in those later rounds. It just so happens Pacquiao did a number on Margarito's eye, and the doctor waved it off because his eye was too badly hurt. But Cotto started to slow down, and Margarito was still coming. And Margarito saying he hits like a girl and stuff like that. So that fight could have been different, but fortunately for Cotto, He did a good job in targeting that eye that Pacquiao started, fucked up, and he was able to get the stoppage. Let me know what you think. Can and Wolfe pull Kirkland through this, or is Kirkland done? Let me know in the comment section. Make sure you like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.